right, how we doing? I just want to update you, they're still counting. It doesn't look good for Kanye. Listen, how the fuck are those two our only two choices? Like, I don't give a shit which side you're on. I wouldn't let either of these guys babysit my kid. I wouldn't let either of these guys drive a car. I wouldn't let either of these guys use the gas stove unattended. It is really great to be here. It's great to be on a comedy stage. We can't do comedy in New York. The clubs are still closed. So they actually have the comedy clubs in the same category in New York as strip joints. They're in the same category, and I don't understand that. I have never been up here and said, I'm up here so I could make money to put myself through college. I am up here just so I can buy my baby diapers. And never after my set have I gone in the back and somebody give me $50 to sit on their lap and tell them more jokes. Like I said, I'm from New York. I grew up in what I thought was a pretty normal family, a pretty normal household. We all think that growing up. That's our normal, that's all we know. And then we get a little older and we meet new people. We see how they interact, how they behave. And I'm like, what's that shit going on back in my ranch? Do you mean to tell me that not everything is the end of the world? That the sky is not actually falling? Speaking of which, my mom's not here. Yeah, she could make it. My neurotic Jewish mother. And that, folks, is redundant. For those of you not in the know, Jewish moms are a lot like Italian moms. You got about the same amount of nagging. You got like twice the guilt. But the food sucks. There's no good ziti and lasagna coming out of that kitchen. The best thing I could hope for as a kid was maybe a can of Chef Boyardee. And mom's neurotic, all right. My mom doesn't quite grasp that with text, you gotta keep it short and sweet. You gotta cut to the chase. My mom sends a text like she's a soldier in the Civil War, penning the letter home. Dear Adam, I take the pencil to the parchment in the hopes that this correspondence finds you well. One evening prior to last, we dined on local fare at the Garden of Olives. Our baskets overflowed with sticks made of bread, our bowls with vegetation as far as the eye can see. And you know, Adam, when you're at the Garden of Olives, they say when you're here, you're like family. And it's true, because like you, they don't call or visit either. And don't get me wrong, folks, I realize that these neuroses, they've rubbed off on me. Neurotic, insomniac, overthinks everything, 45 and single. Yeah, I tried dating. I use these dating apps everybody uses. Anybody use these things? Yeah, I do. Yeah, sometimes I find a profile on the dating app that I really like, and it turns out to be a fake profile that leads you to a porn site. And that's fine. But I already know where all the porn is. Every last filthy morsel of it. You know, like, I'm sure for the younger people, the dating apps are fine, but when you're 45, it's like the island of the misfit toys from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, you got a train with square wheels in there. You got a water gun that squirts jelly. And the ladies are like, back in the 90s, I was super popular and everybody wanted me. Well, now, you're in the dating pool with a Charlie in the box and an elf that wants to be a dentist. The other thing about the dating apps is A lot of ladies have group photos. You got to figure out who you're dealing with. You know, you scrolling through, you can't figure it out, and then you finally see the single one, and you're like, oh shit. It's the redhead with the lazy eye. And a lot of ladies have beautiful pictures, a bunch of beautiful pictures, and they're all from the same exact angle, right? They're all from, like they used a drone. I don't even know how they got these pictures. All the same angle. And they're beautiful. I'm just wondering what the hell's going on the other side of her face. Is she a Batman villain or something? Listen, I don't want to be picky, but I like my lady to have both sides of her face to be fairly similar. I don't think that's asking too much. The one thing I do really like about the dating apps is you can adjust your search criteria based on your mood. You know, it's real easy to change it up. Sometimes I change mine according to horniness. Let me explain how this works. I make the distance I'm willing to travel really small. All the other categories I don't give a shit about. So it'll say drinking, and I'll say, well, that does help the process. I'll say smoking, and I say, I don't care. I don't give a shit. And it'll say height, and I will say 3 foot to 6'11". Because beggars can't be choosers. Listen, at least half of you have wondered what it's like to be with a midget. And I'm going to tell you, it's not that bad. So I met this young lady on the dating app, and you know, I couldn't tell from the pictures, but we set a date, and I went to her home to pick her up, and she opens the door, and lo and behold. But she's so sweet, beautiful girl. So I had made reservations, I spared no expense. Olive Garden. But we had time to kill, we had time to spare. I said, what would you like to do? Would you like to go out and do something first? And she said, yes, miniature golf. She was really good. So then we go to the Olive Garden, and things are going great, and the drinks are flowing, and it's just a great time. And we wind up back at her place, and this is when it got weird, folks. This is when it got weird. I didn't know if I should get down to, or pick her up and drop her. They're heavier than you would think. Frisky little fuckers. Very dense. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Thank you so much. My name is Adam Snair.